Okay, we're back, and we've reached a full rolling boil. Now, according to the box, we have to set our timer for 1 minute and let this go. While the 1 minute is elapsing, we need to stir this constantly, otherwise it's going to turn into a big gloppy burnt mess on the bottom of this pot. So, we're just going to sit here and we're going to have a chat. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my YouTube friends. Aloha Karamia, Pioneer Living. Girl, I just love you. I watch you almost every day. You put up a video, I'm usually one of the first ones to watch it. And Carmen at the Cassandra Project, I love what you're doing. I think you're great. You give us some really vital information, some really interesting things to think about, and along with people like Vision Victory, George for Title, and a lot of other people who I watch on a regular basis, I just want to say thank you. You have inspired me. You have helped me understand the way things are going, and helped me also understand that it's time for us to get back to the ways of our grandmothers and grandfathers. Because if we don't start to help ourselves, then no one's going to help us do it, do it for us. So our timer's gone off. I'm going to take this off the heat, turn off my timer, because that's just going to drive me insane. And I'm going to remove this from the heat, and I'm going to walk over here to my prep station where I have my sterilized jars waiting for me. Now, my canning funnel fits nicely. Oh, I forgot to do something. We have to do something really quickly. Now, I'm going to put some boiling water from my canner here into this bowl, because we're going to need to soften up the gum that is on the inside of these jar lids so that it seals correctly. Alright, put the lid back on so it doesn't stop boiling. Now, I have 6 jars over here, and I have one lid in there already. There's 6 jars. Alright, I like to have a jar ready right here. I'm going to go ahead and ladle this jam mixture into my jars. Using the canning funnel, usually 2 full ladles and then a little bit more will get you the desired result. You don't want to go all the way to the top. You want to leave 1/8 of an inch headspace. I have a little more headspace there than some people usually use, but I think a little more headspace is better, especially when you go to can it, because sometimes all that sugary mess will release from the jar as it's sealing, and I'd rather have it not so sticky, and I'd rather have a little more headspace. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to fill all these jars. At some point I do get up here when I feel comfortable enough with what's left in the pot that I am not going to spill it all over the place, and I go ahead and I do what I'm going to do. I may only get 5 jars out of this recipe, and then we're going to get a little bit in this pot, in this particular jar rather, and then we're going to go put that away, and get rid of that, put that in the sink. Now, we have our hot lids here. Now, normally I would like them to soak a little bit longer, but I think they'll be fine. That water was really hot, and we're going to get those right into that boiling pot there. And this here I didn't mention earlier. This is a lid lifter. It has a magnet on it. It just helps you not to burn yourself. And then also, if you have to reach for anything, then, it helps you do that too. I'm just going to grab my towel here because... And tighten these lids to resistance, as Pioneer Living Carmia likes to say, to resistance. Don't force them, because, once, oops, that was a mistake. Once you get those in the canner, those rings are going to loosen up a little from the pressure that's being released from inside the jar. Now this one, remember, we didn't fill up all the way, and we're just going to leave that out. We're going to eat that over ice cream for dessert tonight. Now this asbestos fingers, as you can see. We're going to take these jars and we're going to put them in the water bath, and then we're going to wait for that water to come to a boil. And Molly's going to follow me over this way. Always open the lid away from you, otherwise you'll get one wicked steam burn. Okay. I'm using my jar lifter, which is one of the niftiest little inventions. We're going to put these in the canning rack. Make sure there's enough water on the top of those jars to cover it by an inch or two. Now, you're going to see that your water wasn't boiling when you started putting jars in here, and now the water is bubbly. Do not mistake that for boiling water. That is the pressure and the air that is being released from inside those jars from the headspace within. Wait until your water comes to a full and rolling boil before you start your timer. To achieve that, put the lid on it and wait for it to boil. It should not take long for my water to come to a full and rolling boil, at which time I am going to set my timer. I'm going to wait 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how we take them out and what we do with them next.